And we're back. Wanted to ask you about, because during the break you were explaining that, some cups and some plates and things like that are also, can be composted now. So what is really the difference between composting and recycling as we know it?
That's a really good question. And actually that line is starting to blur a lot. So you see a lot of companies now coming out with compostable products. So for example, Burgerville is using all compostable products, their cups, their plates, everything. Sunchips just announced that all of their bags are compostable. So that line is really starting to blur where unless you're looking at the bottom of the product saying, oh, is this a recycled thing or a compostable thing? It's hard to tell. Essentially the difference in the process is we're taking all of that organic material and breaking it back down into soil in essence. Whereas with recycling, you'll be breaking it back into whatever the element is. So if it's glass, you'll get it back to a glass and repurpose it. But ours is, the end product for us is soil, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, like the little symbol on the bottom maybe of the cup or the plate. What does a compostable symbol look like?
It's interesting. So right now, most people and the companies are just writing compostable, and there's really sort of a struggle going on right now to certify what exactly is compostable because there isn't really a standard the way there is a number 2 or a number 5 for recycling. Uh-huh. So we're starting to see some companies sort of jockey to say, this is a compostable product. And sometimes a facility will say, well, actually it doesn't break down very well in our process, so we won't accept that compostable product.
Okay.
So it's sort of an exciting time for compostable products because it's really sort of being defined right now in terms of what can break down because there's some that are corn-based and some that are sugar-based. So it's just a lot of different materials and everybody's trying different things right now.
Well, now, the Gorge obviously has become very popular and well-known for wine. And there's also a lot of agriculture happening here. Are you guys able to tap into all of that? Is that going to be part of your business model going after that, I guess, market? Or
well, originally we thought that was going to be the core market was the ag community. So we saw all the cherries and pears and apples in the area, and we knew that they did pruning, typically in the winter for the cherries, and we thought we would get a lot of that pruning material, which is great carbon, and would break down. So we thought we would get that material and then be able to sell the compost back in to those growers. However, when we did a little bit more research in this past winter research phase, we found that a lot of that community is doing the pruning, and then it's less expensive for them to burn the material and then bring in fertilizers and petro-based fertilizers. So initially we thought, great, this is a core market. We know there's 20,000 tons of that agricultural organic material. However, the more we've looked into it, it seems less accessible. We would, in the long run, like to work with them, and we do think with wine as sort of a high-value crop that they might be more interested in compost for their soil, but it's something we're working towards. So, in terms of markets, the Forest Service is a big one, the ag community is another one, and then there's the waste stream, which is essentially working with Waste Connections, Hood River Garbage, the Dallas Disposal, which is actually a good point because we're right now trying to work with the Forest Service on a pilot project they're doing where they're doing a fuels reduction. So they're clearing 300 acres of forest so that it's less of a forest fire liability. They want to take that material, have it composted locally, and then reapply it on Highway 35 because people's brakes are shedding heavy metals into the Hood River, and compost is a natural carbon filter. So this is a really innovative project for the Forest Service. We've put in a proposal, which we hope we'll win, and we'll know in the next week or so, that we would be able to compost all of this material and then reapply it on Highway 35. So there's a lot of different markets, a lot of different things. The thing that most people think about is curbside in their own home, but there is the ag community and there is the forest. So It's pretty exciting.
So how is it then that your product, your compost product, is maybe different from the competition?
Well, what's available locally, our understanding, a lot of it is manure-based, so it's a single material that's going into the compost, whereas we're focusing a lot on our recipe. So we're mixing both yard debris with, for example, some of the cherry biosludge coming from Oregon cherry growers in order to create that perfect 30-to-1 carbon to nitrogen and really create a nutrient-rich soil at the end. So we have a diverse feedstock coming in, and then we have a high-quality product on the other end, whereas some of the other stuff available is more single material on the input side.
So it's almost like a cleaner compost, if you will.
Yeah,
okay.
and more nutrient.
More nutrient. Okay,
yeah.
Great. Well, we're almost out of time, but I wanted to ask you about the community's interest in what you're doing and the support that you've received from people who don't have anything, or companies rather, that don't have anything to do with composting. Real quickly, tell us about that.
Yep, we've had tremendous community support, and in fact, we wouldn't have gotten it off the ground without all the support that we've had. A lot of people have helped us with in-kind services and reduced rate things. Crestline Construction's been big, Tri-Counties Recycling, Season 5 Design. A lot of people have just rallied around the concept because they wanted compost locally and have helped us out.
Nice.
And it's been fantastic.
Well, sweet. Well, best of luck to you, Pierce.
Thanks
really
a lot.
appreciate you coming on, telling us a bit about what you guys do, and look forward to hopefully talking to you in the future and hearing about your success and how you help the Gorge community.
Thanks a lot.
So, all right. Thanks, you guys, for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Localite. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.